Fifth grade, there are some things that I want to talk to you about. Number one, we're taking a little break. Everybody needs to have some practice with painting. I'm going to show you some different things. This is the sheet, and whatever you paint today, you're going to take home. This is the sheet. When you do start filling stuff out, it says, remember less is more, and once you're practicing putting paint in these little trays, you're going to put your table color. So if you're the red table, you'll put red. If you're 5H, you put 5H here. This is an example. You would write bright yellow, and when you put a little dot with some Q-tips, and I'll have those when you're actually ready to start. On the back, this is if you need extra paint. This is something that you will keep in your folder, so then you know the name of the paints. Example, it's not just yellow, it's bright yellow. If I looked at this bottle, it would say, oh, just happened to grab bright yellow. So that way you would be able to find it. Now, when you do paint your ceiling tiles, you need to be careful because remember, you cannot erase paint. You will have a tray as a table. These are old cafeteria trays. You will get different varieties of paintbrushes. This one is a round tip. This one is an angle. See how it's at an angle? This one is flat. You can decide what you want. I have several brushes. Remember, we never leave them in the water. We clean them, reshape them, have them up in the, just set them in the tray. Everybody will have one of these per table. The containers, the special containers that I have are, let me just see if I can get this to move up. Maybe. They are right there with your teacher's names on them. So then you will know, now the tricky part is getting right back. So you'll know which classes they go in, and it has a lid. It's kind of like a large Tupperware container. In here you will be using these for water. Half full is enough. You can always dump it out and get new water. So this is the tray for the paint. So what we're going to practice with today is you will have a couple bottles at your table. You will do this with your shoulder buddy. I want you each putting a little bit of paint in one of these, okay? And you're going to realize how little you need. Then what you're going to do is you're going to have a square piece of cardboard. It's actually a poster board that I had left over from when I was cutting your cardboard, your poster boards. And you're going to get to use these stencils. Now, I don't care if you want to use your initials. You're going to have a package per table. You're going to be careful with them. Mine that I did is in pens. You can see it for the video. These are they're actually 1.5 inches. They're called a 2-inch stencil when I ordered them off of Amazon. But if you actually measure the letter, well, it's 1.5 this way and 2 inches going vertical. So I guess that's how they call them, 2 inches. And the first thing that you're going to do is the lines are at the top. And here's my example. This is just something, I just wrote the word yet. It needs to be school appropriate. You know better. This is just a fire chief hat that I drew on here. Again, I drew it in ink so you can see it. You're going to do yours in pencil. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to line up your ruler. And you're going to use your pencil because you're going to need to have these lined up on the ceiling tile. And what I've been going around and talking to different students about is you want to know your midpoint of where you start. So if I measure this, that's 7. Half of 7 is what? 3.5. So I would put a little tick mark on there where it says 3.5. That would be where the middle of my line goes for my stencil. So I would put that right in the center. Now, do you see where you can see the bottom of that line? So I would take my pencil, line it up as best I can, kind of eyeball it where it's in the center. Once again, I'm only using this ink so you can see it on the video. You want to be careful of these. See, I have my finger on both sides of that letter, and I'm holding it steady. Now, another reason why you're wanting to do a pencil is because if you make a mistake, you want to be able to change it. So here's my L. Should I put it right there? No, because I'm on top of that E. You're going to decide how much space that you need. You know, maybe looking for the letter G. We'll just do D. Maybe if you line it up like this and you have the D over here, is that lined up? No. Like I said, you want to make sure it's on that line. Space it over as much as you can. Here's the E hanging out. Get it straight. Outline it. Put my fingers on both sides. So today you're going to be spelling a 3-letter word. That is school appropriate. And if I put the L, I need to line it up. Make sure it's on that line. Have enough space. This is why you would do it in pencil. You can draw any kind of picture you want up above. This is just a scrap thing. Maybe I want to do a giant emoji, okay? I don't know. And then you're going to paint it. Now I'm going to go back to this one that I've already drawn, and you're going to get your paints out. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video, and this would be a good starting point because I don't want it to get too long because I can't put it on YouTube.